Standardized waterproof construction demonstration for bathroom. Step 1. Equipment preparation. Spade, broom, hammer, steel chisel, rope, tape measure, agitator, mixing bucket, scraper, long handle roller brush, labor protection equipment, tools, etc. Step 2. Cleaning the substrate surface. Remove the substrate surface floating debris and clean the substrate surface. The substrate surface should be firm, flat, and no greasy dirt, cracks, holes, hollow drums, loose sand, and other defects. If there is any of the above quality problems, require the general contractor to fix the problem before applying the materials. The concave surface, partial sanding, and empty drum parts of the substrate layer should be repaired and smoothed with KS901F Polymer cement waterproof mortar. If there are large holes or cracks in the substrate surface, sprinkle water to wet the substrate layer and remove the hole residue. And use the Keshun plugging king to fill the hole. The corners and pipe roots should be done with arc treatment. During the application of polymer cement waterproof mortar on wall, the substrate surface is required to be wet during the application. When the surface is dry, wet it with water. The application of one-component polyurethane coatings and ground construction requires a dry substrate. Step 3. Positioning. The inner wall surface positioning line is 100 mm above the hanging line and is protected by the textured paper to prevent pollution and ensure the interface is neat. Step 4. Wall surface waterproof construction. Prepare KS901F Polymer cement waterproof mortar. Mix the powder slowly into water according to the weight ratio. Powder to water equals 20 to 4.0 to 5.0. Stir well for 2 to 3 minutes with electric power until it is evenly paste-free. Leave it for 5 minutes. Stir it a little before the application. Scrape and coat the mixed clay on the substrate surface for 1 to 2 layers. The next layer should be applied after the previous layer has been dry and non-sticky. The thickness of each coating is about 1 to 2 millimeters. The total thickness is 2 millimeters. Then tear off the textured paper after the construction is completed. Note: it is forbidden to apply the dry clay by mixing it with water. In dry weather, if the complemented waterproof layering surface is water shortage and white in color, workers should sprinkle water on it for the maintenance of the layer. Step 5. The ground construction position line. Clean the substrate surface slurry before the line is snapped. Measure 100 mm each in the different corner of the facade. The pipe root measure 50 mm to the pipe wall, and the caisson area up to 250 mm on the wall above the substrate surface and is protected with a textured paper. Step 6. Processing of the ground detail node. Firstly, prepare some 200 mm width and 300 mm width non-woven fabric. Secondly, the wide width root is wrapped with 300 mm width non-woven fabric. Then enhance the treatment by using the one fabric 3 coating process. Thirdly, add the 200 mm width non-woven fabrics in the corners and strengthen the treatment with the 1 fabric 3 coating process. The 1 fabric 3 coating process means, after the first layer of coating is applied, a non-woven fabric reinforcing layer is applied on it. Then apply another 2 layers of coating on top of it to make the coating completely saturated with the reinforcing layer. Step 7. The ground surface waterproof construction. Use a brush or squeegee to evenly apply the polyurethane to the base surface. Do not leave any surface unpainted. The width of the joint should be less than 100 mm. When the water tank is covered, the height of the side of the wall of the ridge is greater than 300 mm. When the application of brush coating reached the wall or column area, the coating should be brushed 250 mm height on the wall or column above the ground surface. The waterproof layer of the floor should be horizontally extended at the exit area, and the length of the extension should not be less than 500 mm, and the length stretched to both sides should not be less than 200 mm. After the previous layer is dry, apply the next layer. The interval should be within 24 hours, but the time can be extended in case the temperature is too low. The standard is that the coating is not sticky, then can apply the second layer. The second layer direction is perpendicular to the first one, and the third painting direction is the same as the first one. Step 8. The water storage experiment. After the waterproof layer is dry, the water storage experiment should be carried out. The water level should not be less than 20 mm, and the water storage time should not be less than 24 hours. During project acceptance, check whether there is leakage or wet stain on ceiling of the downstairs bathroom. The concealed construction of the waterproof layer can't be carried out before the acceptance is passed.